I had to think long and hard about doing this video, y'all. I had to think long and hard because this is the work a lot of people do not want to do because most people do not want to go against the grain. The acronym ADOS is a very popular acronym, but I've been thinking about this for a long time. And as a presidential candidate of my people, it is my duty to uncover this. We should not be using the acronym ADOS, which stands for American Descendants of Slavery. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the acronym ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery, does not specify your lineage claim as a Black American. And I'm going to tell you why. Hear me out, okay? I know a lot of you guys are emotionally invested into this, and I understand. Hear me out. What you have to understand is that there are many Americans in this country who are not Black. Some might even be able to trace their lineage back to slavery. And I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give you a few examples. Let's use the very first one. What if you have a white man who have a great grandmother who's a descendant from slaves? Now, this man could pass for white. He's been passing for white his entire life. He can make a claim that states, I'm an American and I'm a descendant of slavery by using his grandmother. Okay, if that don't work for you, let me use another one. You can have another Black American. Let's say you have a Brazilian American, right? Now, for those of you who don't know, Brazilians were slaves at one time. What if you have a Brazilian who was born in America? He could state, I'm an American who's a descendant of slavery. Now, he's not a descendant of American slavery, right? But he's a descendant of slavery. So he could say, I'm ADOS. I'm an American descendant of slavery. Okay. Let's make it even more complicated. You know that there were another type of slavery as well that wasn't a diaspora type of slavery, right? There was a Saudi Arabian type of slavery that's going on even till this day. So there are Africans who were enslaved by the Arabians. Now, you may even have an American born in this country who could make a claim to your reparations package if you go through ADOS. And they could basically state this. They could say, well, look, I'm an American and I could trace my lineage back to the Saudi Arabian slave trade. I'm an American descendant of slavery. I'm ADOS. Wow. Right? So you have been rocking with this ADOS acronym and it's not specific to your claim. And guess what? You're only going to get one shot at this. And guess what? The leaders of ADOS, Antonio Moore and Yvette Carnell, there's a lot of potential for them to get positioned to have some type of management or charge of your reparations package. Okay? They are going to influence your reparations package very deeply. All right? So, what should be the correct terminology? Are you ready for it? The correct specific terminology for your lineage claim should be Blacks who descended from American slaves. I'm going to say that again. Your lineage claim and your acronym of the exact lineage claim that you have that was passed down from generation to generation to generation should be Blacks who descended from American slaves. Very specific. Now, it's a little longer, but it's a lot more specific. So when it's time to start passing out checks and protections and stuff like that, and land and all these goodies that's going to come with your reparations package, guess what? You're going to be able to say, no, white boy, you can't get my reparations. No, you can't get. Now, I support your reparations, but you got to take that with your own country and all of that type of stuff, right? Okay. So the correct acronym should be BWDAS. BWDAS. Why did I come out with this video, even though I didn't want to? Well, something happened yesterday. Antonio Moore posted in an article on Twitter. It was an ABC News article, and he posted this article, and I responded to it. I basically stated to him that some of the statements were not factual, and he blocked me. I reached out to him via Instagram. I left an Instagram message and stated to him, look, man, there's no bad blood. I didn't mean no disrespect, but I basically told him everything that I told you, with some of the things that I didn't tell you. Excuse me. Some of the things that I told you, I told him. So I try to reach out to these people because I see that they have a lot of potential of being in charge of our reparations package. Okay. Because we're only going to get this right. We're only going to get one shot at this. And when you're endorsing candidates like Marianne Williamson, who's talking about giving us a $200 to $500 billion plan, no type of infrastructure, no land, no defensive structure, no protections, no nothing. See, I'm a presidential candidate. This is my second time running. I ran back in 2015 and 2016. I constructed DMLG, Defense Money Land Grants, which is the 4 elements of reparations, which are the 4 elements of reparations constructed from the 4 elements of American society, which is defensive structure, capital, land, and access to capital. These are the 4 elements that make American society works, and these are the 4 elements that are used to keep us as a bottom caste. If nobody's talking about the 4 elements of reparations, leave them alone. Plus, I'm a BWDAS, a black who descended from American slavery. So, being a black man who descended from American slavery, why would you want a white lady to represent you in your reparations package in the White House? Let me tell you something about this Marianne Williamson. She's going to ride off of ADOS all the way to the top. She's going to use ADOS to get book deals, to get black votes. You don't think this is going to be this is not going to be the last time she run? She's going to run again. She's going to run for senator or mayor or something. She's going to get a lot of black ADOS people to vote for her. We got to stop allowing white folks to capitalize off of our movements. But let's get back, right? So I stated that to him. I told Mr. Antonio Moore, I said, look, man, Marianne Williamson is not the only presidential candidate with a reparations package. All right. The reason why I had to come out with this, because I've been thinking about this for a long time, but I didn't want to come off as divisive. I didn't want to come off as unsupportive. And I was really waiting for an opportunity to speak with at least one of the leaders of the ADOS movement to relay this information. But I can't get in contact with them. So that's your job. And that's your job to tell other ADOS people or anybody else using acronyms that isn't specific enough that no, this is the specific acronym that we should use. Okay. Now there is another acronym that's stated DOAS, descendants of American slaves, but even that one isn't specific enough. And the reason why that one isn't specific enough because it doesn't specify Black American. Okay, a Native American can use that terminology because some of them were slaves as well. They could say, I'm a descendant of American slaves. It's not specific enough, but Native Americans do not have the same claim you have. You were bottom casted. You haven't been compensated yet. There are reparations packages for Native Americans. And a lot of white folks benefit off of them. But that's another story. So you could be emotionally invested all you want. And there are a lot of positives for ADOS. But we got to get the acronym corrected because you're only going to get one shot at this. And we got to get behind our own candidates. A candidate like myself who understands what reparations is. Okay, it's 4 elements. This is presidential candidate Deon D. Jenkins, and I approve this message.